Hello and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. It's time to reset by gently releasing tension and slowing your breath. When your body feels tight or stressed, it can lead to tight fascia and restricted movement. With mindful breathing and mindful movements in all directions, breathing into the diaphragm, into the ribs, into the back, you help your body release tension. We don't want mindless crunching. We want to focus on breathing to activate these muscles more efficiently. We want to focus on releasing again to activate these muscles more efficiently. This shifts the body out of a stress breathing pattern into a calmer, more restful pattern where we can focus more on diaphragmatic breathing, where the whole body can move more freely and improve that muscle activation. Remember, movement is key, and if you don't use it, well, you lose it. For the workout, you're going to need a hard and a soft reflex ball, and we're going to work quite a bit into standing. So let's start with the ball underneath the foot and slowly roll all the way across the foot, right to the lateral side of the foot. While you're doing this, slowly breathe in, focus on breathing through the nose, especially that exhalation. Try and focus on that exhalation through the nose. Bring the ball into the arch of the foot and circle in one direction, and you're going to change direction. Keep going nice and slowly. Let's bring the ball under the other foot. Now through the workout, as we're in the standing position, we are going to focus on balancing. That is going to activate the core. But as we go, if you're taking strain in the ankles and the feet, then just take the ball and release the foot. And by doing that, you'll just help activate those muscles a little bit more, and it'll help with the balancing, just releasing tension if your stabilizers are not cooperating. Bring the ball into the arch and circle in one direction. And change direction. You can pop that ball to the side, and then just mindfully with our breathing, we're going to relax the shoulders as much as possible. We'll get onto the mat and release those just now, but try and focus on the rib cage. If you want to bring your hands onto your ribs, you can do that. Breathing in for 4 counts and exhaling. So try start off with exhaling for 4 counts and then increase that exhalation. Really feel the rib cage dropping. Let's do one more like that. Breathing in and exhaling. Okay, you're going to soften the knees, relax the arms again at your side, focusing on the breathing again. You can also bring the hands behind the head, breathing in and exhaling. Bringing the hands behind the head will just help you open up around these pectoral muscles in the front of the chest and focus on the breathing more, so we're creating space that we can breathe into. Now we're going to open up into that arch, breathing in again. So make the movement bigger, so seeing it from this angle, and then you exhaling into a tuck position. So I'm opening up, see my movement from the tailbone, and then I'm opening the upper body up, breathing in, and then exhaling. So you can gently tuck your chin to your chest with your hands. Open up from the tailbone And then the body will open up and exhale. Now what we're going to do, we're going to open up again, and you're going to transfer your weight to one side as you lift the knee, and you're going to bounce the knee up. So we're still on that exhalation. So try and extend your exhalation if you can. Otherwise, you bring the foot down when you need to breathe in. And then you open up into that arch. Exhale. And lift the other knee up. Bounce. Keep going. Breathing in. Take it at your pace. Let your movement follow your breath. Slide the foot up and bounce. Breathing in. Try control the movement as you drop the foot down. Breathing in. Opening up and exhaling. And exhale. Finish off with 2 more. Okay, we're opening up. See me from this angle. We're now going to stay with the knees in that soft bent position, and you're breathing in. Bring the hands onto the thighs. As you breathe in, you're going to come into a squat position. You're going to open up. Then you're going to tuck from the tailbone and exhale. Let's open up from the tailbone, and then the head will follow. Exhale into the tuck. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. We're going to do 4 more, breathing in and exhale. 3. Last 2. And 1 more, breathing in. As you exhale and curl through the spine. Still in that standing position, we're going to rotate the feet. So we're coming into a bit of a knee box position. You can bring the hand onto that front hip, and we're going to take the other hand onto the head. Breathing in. So I'm coming back into my arch position. Now I want to crunch into these oblique muscles in the waist. So I'm going to tuck the pelvis like we did before and bring the elbow towards the hip. So we're exhaling here. Arch the back. Breathing in. Exhaling and tucking. Breathing in and exhale to the tuck. Reach around, keep exhaling. So you're really dropping the rib cage there. Let's do another 4. Breathing in and exhale. 3 more. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and the last one. Now on this exhalation, stay here and rotate your feet to the other side. Let's change hands. Breathing in, exhale, crunch. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. We're going to do 4 more. Last 3. Breathing in and 1 more. And come back to center. Let's stand lengthways on the mat. Breathe in again into that open position. And now you're going to roll down through the spine. And just hang out there and bounce. Come onto your hands and knees. And we're going to position that soft reflex ball into our iliac dungeon. Then we're moving onto the pectoral muscles on both sides and then onto the left side. So start on the right. Find your hip bone inside your hip bone. So between your belly button and your hip bone. So it's not on the bone, but inside. We're going to lie forward on the mat. If you can keep your hand underneath the ball, do so. You'll get a little bit deeper into the release. Rest your forehead on your left fist. So you're breathing in. As you breathe in, I want you to try and lengthen out of the hip. So imagine someone's pulling your foot away, breathing in. And then exhale and release. 4 counts in. And take your time on the exhalation. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. If you're taking any strain in the lower back, you keep that foot on the mat and just focus on breathing into the ball. And you finish off with 2 more. And the last one. Now we're going to position the reflex ball underneath the right shoulder. Keep the elbow bent. I find I get a little bit more movement into the shoulder and deeper into the release when the elbow is bent. And you're just going to move the arm around in that bent position, and you can rotate. Just feel where you're feeling the most release. You can move around there. And finish off with 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, we're going to move over to the left side. We'll go straight onto the pectoral muscles. You may need to play around with the position of that reflex ball. Rest your forehead on your right hand. Keep the elbow bent. And move the arm around in that bent position. Three, 2 and 1. Okay, on the left side, inside the iliac dungeon, between the belly button and the hip bone. Hand under the ball. Rest your forehead on your right fist. Release the hand under the ball if you find you're getting deep enough, and the leg is optional if you want to lift it. If you can, you'll get a bit deeper. Breathing in and exhale. And breathing in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And exhale. And 1 more. And exhale. Release the ball for now. Stay in this prone position, and we're going to bring the ear onto the mat. You can extend your arms in line with your shoulders, and here we're going to, so I'm going to use my front hand just to push into the mat or the floor, and I'm going to extend that top leg back slightly. So I'm opening up here. You can now bend the bottom knee, and you're going to pulse that leg and lengthen out of the hip. You can extend that arm next to the ear. Let's just focus on the leg for now. Try and lengthen out of that hip. And then once you've got that movement, extend the arm and lift and lower it as well. And pulse. Do another 4, 3, 2. You're going to hold the arm in that extended position next to the ear, and then just move that leg back and pulse. Pulse. Let's take the arm again and reach the arm behind. So back. Keep going. 4 more. 3, 2. The arm that's on the mat, so you're opening up into the pectoral muscles. If you're taking strain, you can extend the arm next to the ear. What I've done is just bend the elbow, bring the elbow in line with the shoulder, and the palm is flat. From there, keep the hand where it is, right arm next to the ear. We're now going to draw a circle with that lifted leg. A nice, slow, controlled movement. Keep going. Another 4, 3, 2, and you're going to change direction for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and let's move over to the other side. So just lower yourself back and coming up onto the hands and knees. So we're going to rotate onto that side. You've got the option of bending the elbow, keeping it in line with the shoulder, or extending the arm next to the ear. Lengthen that top leg and take it back. Bend the bottom knee and you can bring it slightly forward. Now bring that top arm next to the ear, and we're going to pulse the leg up and down. Let's focus on the leg to start and think of the movement in the hip. You want to lengthen out of the hip. You can add the arm if you want to. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Now taking the leg, you're going to pulse the leg back. Pulse, pulse. When you're ready, add the arm. Pulse it back, back, back. Let's do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can release the hand and bring the arm next to the ear. And let's draw that circle. You're still mindfully lengthening out of the hip. Do another 4, 3, 2, and change direction. Four to go. 3, 2, and 1. And bring the hand onto the mat. And let's come up onto the hands and knees again. Just a few movements into the arms. So we're going to take the hands on either side of the mat, point the fingers away, and here we're going to rotate. You can open up the hands slightly wider than the mat if you need to. Keeping the elbows straight, rotating one shoulder and then the other. Now hold it to one side and pulse that shoulder down. You're keeping both elbows straight, don't bend. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and over to the other side. Pulse. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm bringing my hand underneath my sternum, right under the sternum. Fingers are still pointing out to the side. The other hand I'm going to bring behind my head. So I'm opening up here, breathing in. Now I'm going to tuck like we did before into that tuck position and bring my elbow through underneath into, so aiming to get it towards that knee. See it from this angle, opening up, pushing the bottom shoulder, so you're increasing that rotation, breathing in. Now drop the elbow and pulse. I'm keeping my elbow straight. The top elbow I'm dropping and pulsing to the opposite knee. Exhaling. Keep going. Breathing in. Open up and bounce into that rotation. Now exhale. Breathing in. Four more. 3, 2. Your last 2. Let's go over to the other side. So bring the hand, the heel of the hand, right underneath the sternum. Knees are quite far apart, so you can just stabilize yourself a little bit more. And we're going to rotate into that position, pushing that bottom shoulder across as well. Breathing in and exhale. Four more. And exhale. Finish off with 2 more. Okay, sit back into your child's pose and walk your fingertips ahead of you. Relax onto your forehead on the mat and breathe into the thighs. So as you breathe in, feel the expansion around the rib cage. We're going to come back into that prone position, so you're lowering down and bringing the soles of the feet together. Now extend your arm next to your ear. We're going to take the hand onto the mat next to or underneath the shoulder. We're going to rock into that rotation and keeping the soles of the feet glued together if you can. So I'm just going to come a little bit forward on the mat. If you can, release that top arm and you're going to bring the arms next to the ears. So soles of the feet are glued together, arms next to the ears. Bring the hand back onto the mat. Use that hand to slowly help you control lowering that knee onto the mat. Bring the arm next to the ear onto the mat and you're rotating to the other side. So hand comes next to the shoulder. You're going to push up and you're going to hover in this lifted position. Once your glutes are engaged, you're going to bring the arm next to the ear. If your glutes are not cooperating, keep that top hand on the mat. Release the top hand and bring it back onto the mat. And let's continue nice and slowly and controlled over to the first side. Hand under the shoulder. And let's breathe in. Opening up. Soles of the feet stay glued together. Glutes are engaged. Arms next to the ears. And lower down again. Change arms. Breathing in. Arms next to the ears. Now we're halfway. We're going to do 4 more. Let's do another 2. You're finishing off. And the last one. Control it. Don't rush the movements. Hands under both shoulders, and let's push back onto the hands and knees again. And just take a quick break, stretch everything out. We're now going to come into a seated position and lengthen out on the mat. So take your reflex ball again and lower down onto the mat into a supine position. In this position, we're going to take that reflex ball and we're going to bring it underneath one buttock. And we're going to open up that knee. And so we have worked the glutes a little bit in the previous exercise, activating them. Let's just focus on giving them a little bit of a release. Move the ball around. Continuing on this side, let's bring the ball into the lower back. And now you can keep your foot flat and you're just going to massage around these areas. So keep moving the ball around. So we're working below the rib cage, around this fleshy part on this side of the spine. Keep moving that ball around and releasing any tension you're feeling here. And when you're ready, let's move over to the other side. So start on the buttock. You can drop the knee and roll the ball around. Slowly move the ball up. Just being aware of each time you move the ball, what you're feeling in that place, in that position. If you do need to hang around here for a little bit longer, stay on this spot and release the tension. You can bounce the knee around, you can straighten the leg, you can just focus on where the tension is and getting rid of it. Move the ball around, maybe a little bit higher up on that sacroiliac spine in line with the hip bone. And if you want to come a little bit higher, you can do that as well. Roll the ball from side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, release the ball from the back and let's bring the feet flat onto the mat. Focusing on the breathing again. So you're breathing in. Like we did in the standing position, just keep the spine in a neutral position and then exhale. You can bring your head into your hands if you want to as you breathe in. Feel the rib cage expanding. Exhale and release. Try and exhale for a little bit longer now. So you continue with the breathing. And exhale. Okay, we're now going to bring an arch into the movement. So we're breathing into arch. And we're exhaling into that tuck position. So I'm tilting my pelvis, but I'm not lifting my tailbone off the mat. Breathing in an arch. And I'm exhaling. Keep going, 4 more. And exhale. Three to go. And exhale. Last 2. And exhale. 1 more. Okay, we are now going to keep the lower back firmly in the mat. You're going to lengthen out. Then you can open up, breathing in. Coming into that arch again. Now I'm exhaling. I'm pushing the lower back into the mat. And I'm going to exhale and slide the feet towards the tailbone. So I'm coming back onto the feet. Knees are bent. Breathing in. Extend the arms and lengthen out. Exhale, tuck, push the lower back down first, and then you're going to bring the feet back. So you're supporting the lower back by pushing it into the mat. Then you're activating the core muscles, focusing on the exhalation as you bring the arms and the feet together. Breathing in. And exhale. Four more. So I maintain contact with the mat throughout as I lengthen the feet. And your last one, breathing in and exhale. So what we're now going to do is we're going to lift one leg and we're going to breathe in. Now I'm keeping my lower back on the mat because I want to, as the leg is lifted, I want to support the lower back, keeping the lower back down. As you breathe in, lengthen out. Exhale. Circle the arms next to the legs. Now I'm going to breathe in, lengthening the legs again. And I'm going to bring my head into my hands. So I'm coming into a chest lift and I'm going to offer the neck some support. Breathing out. Open up again. Breathing in. Lengthen the arms and the leg. Exhale into that bent position. Breathing in. Head back into the hands. Exhale into the chest lift. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. Head into the hands. Exhale. And exhale. Keep the head on the mat and then circle the arms. You're still getting movement into the neck, but support the head so the abdominal muscles, those core muscles, can engage. Breathe in. Let's finish off with two more. Keep the leg where it is, just rest. Bring the head back onto the mat. And we're now going to engage the glutes. They're part of our core. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe in, we're going to thrust into that lifted position and then exhale, lower down. So just straight into a thrust, breathing in and lifting up. Exhaling and lower down. So let the toes lead the way. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. 4 more. I'm using my arms just to help lift me up a little bit higher off the mat. Breathing in and exhale. finish off with 2 more. We're going to hold the last one in the lifted position, breathing in. And now as you exhale, just circle the leg and change direction. 2 and 1. Hold it in the lifted position, release the foot, push the pelvis up to the ceiling and breathe in again. As you exhale, articulate through the spine and lower the back onto the mat. Okay, we're now ready on the other side. So you're going to lengthen the leg out. Let's breathe in and exhale. So you're keeping that lower back on the mat now. And we're going to breathe in and bring the hands behind the head. Bring the leg perpendicular to the floor and breathing in. Lengthen the arms again. Exhale into that chest, knee to chest lift. Breathe in. Head into the hands. Exhale. Let's finish off and keep the leg lifted. Breathing in and thrust. Exhaling, lowering down. Keep going. Breathing in and exhale. 3 and exhale. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Let's hold it in that lifted position and circle. Change direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee, bring the foot back onto the mat, and let's push the pelvis up a little bit higher. Try and tuck the shoulder blades right underneath. Little fingers are now in the mat, and you're pushing the pelvis higher. Breathing in and exhaling. Feel that breath in that cylinder around this area, into the rib cage in the back, rib cage in the front, really activating these core muscles. You should feel the glutes working. Breathe right down into the glutes. Keep going. And exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. You've got one more, breathing in. As you exhale, articulate through the spine, one vertebra onto the mat at a time. Lengthen the legs out. Have a nice big yawn and stretch. And you can bring one knee up to the shoulder, the other knee up to the shoulder, and just bounce the knees up to the shoulders. Cross the ankles, hold onto the feet, and rock from side to side. Now you're going to bring the soles of the feet together, link the fingers and bring the head into the hands, and let's just bounce the knees in that open position, and then just seesaw the knees from side to side. Lengthen yourself out again. Breathe in. Lengthen the arms next to the ears. Exhale. Uncurl. And come into a seated position. And well done. Thank you for joining me.